Hello everyone, it's me as Johnny and welcome back to another episode of SMPVideo. SMPVideo Season 4. That's the season we're currently in. Well, that's not the season we're in physically, but that's the season we're in terms of, episode number. It's complicated. We're in the Season 3 world. And why is that? Well, if you're wondering that, you haven't watched my last episode, have you? Shame on you. And maybe part of the reason why you didn't watch my last episode is because you're not subscribed. Maybe you should subscribe to the channel and not miss future episodes or previous episodes for that matter. For real though, these videos take a long time to create and plan out and stuff, so any support is much appreciated. Thank you all so much. And also like the video if you haven't already. Thank you. But how did we end up in Season 3, you might wonder? Well, long story short, I built a time machine a few months ago. It destroyed itself and basically mysteriously vanished. Then it mysteriously reappeared a couple months ago. And I finally got it to work in the last episode. And now we're in Season 3. But why are we in Season 3, you might ask? Well, that also has a few reasons. First of all, I have something from this world, from this season, that I want to physically get and take back with me to Season 4. That's basically our main mission here. Also, this time machine, in terms of lore, it works on coordinates and time that you have to put in. But obviously, if I don't know the coordinates or time period that I want to go to, then I can't go there. I mean, I can guess coordinates and time, but then, you might end up in a place where you don't want to be. Maybe you'll get teleported high in the air and fall to your death, or get crushed into rocks because you teleported too far on the ground. And then finally, it's just fun to go back to previous seasons, Like, it's fun to revisit the past and see what we did in the past. And does that mean that the entire Time Bomb storyline is partially just because I want to revisit previous seasons? Yes, it 100% is. And if you disagree with that, you're already too late to stop me, buddy. It's already happened. We're doing it now. Quickly before we get into it, I know that there's going to be a couple of people that have watched Season 3 and a couple that haven't. And to the people that have watched, I will say, just enjoy revisiting the past with me and have some fun seeing old things. But to the people that are new and haven't seen Season 3, this is going to be a treat as well, because you get to learn about the history and lore of our server. And I really hope you enjoy that. I'll try my best to just give enough information so you have an idea of what happens, but also not too much information so it gets boring for the people that already know, So this is our spawn area. Honestly, we never did much with it. Most of the stuff here is from when we left. But seeing that there isn't much here, we should probably go to the first country. That is correct. I did just say country, and that is because Season 3 was actually divided up into 3 major factions. Instead of Season 4, where we're all basically doing our own thing, which is pretty interesting to see. Of course, my neighbors started drilling their wall right when I'm recording a video. I've been quiet all morning, but now that I've pressed the record button, they're drilling the wall. Okay, we'll just deal with it. In Season 3, there was a lot of people working together, and the first place we were going to, I think you can already kind of see a little bit of it in the background, is Sereda, which was the biggest faction of the server in player count, because 4 out of the 7 active members were actually there. These were CZ, Highbot, Nettuber, and Isaac, and we have just walked from spawn to not necessarily the most flattering part of Sereda. We're in New Tampa. Basically, Highbot made, I think it was called New Miami over there, which has a pretty specific building code of not having any reds and browns, and then Isaac built this, which goes in violation of that. There even is a Catholic church, because Christianity is canon on this server for some reason. Let's actually go over to New Miami. It looks pretty great. I don't know too much about the history of it, to be honest. There's a radio station if you fancy that. I think I built a rainbow glass shop. Yep, right here. Oh my god, I haven't seen this in a while. Oh, it's a wool shop. I had completely forgotten about that part. Alright, let's go up. Oh yeah, I sell wool colors, all the wool colors that aren't that are allowed in here. So no reds and browns and yellows. It was interesting to see this build because it was like one of the last things I built in Season 3. And if you now look at what I built in Season 4, well, I'm pretty happy with how I've improved building. Because, I mean, this is not a bad build or anything, but, you know, could be better. Sereda as a country was probably the most developed. Like, they had a rotating presidency, they had... I think they had like a lot of laws. They had mining tax for some reason, if I can remember correctly. They were very big into like the nation building side of things. And now we've made it to Isaac, which I think, what was this called? Was this Volga? Yes, it was Volga, the mountain state, because it was built up on a mountain, as you can see. But yeah, Isaac this season was basically doing what Isaac always does. He just builds a bunch of radio towers, builds a lot of weird, funky builds. Is that a parking lot? I think that's a parking lot. That is great. Oh yeah, it's some basketball fields as well. I actually quite like those. Those are pretty fun. Look at all this work, baby. That is so much. Oh, it is fun to be back here. I've not been here in a while. I don't think I've logged into Season 3 since Season 3 ended, so this is pretty cool. Yes, we're in Chalesta, which I swear was called Chelsea at some point. It's like a big Mandela effect type of thing. Yes, this is Highbot's Season 3 base, and he basically also did what Highbot does usually. He just builds up one thing and then slowly expands it as season goes on. He doesn't do that in Season 4 now. Season 4 he's actually not building too many things, which is interesting. And also a little bit sad, because I always just like how Highbot builds work, how they're like interconnected. And they're like not the most detailed, but they are always like still very interesting to walk around. And the layout is fun. And it's just an enjoyable experience overall. For some reason, they decided to put their like governmental buildings in the water here. So, can we actually read that? Oh, we can. And then over here, we have my country's embassy that I built. I built this one. This one's really cool. I actually still quite like this build. Well done, me. That looks pretty swell. This building was there for like a year on the server. I never fully understood what this one did. If you want me to be honest, I'm experiencing a bit of lag. That's a bit unfortunate. Now we're going to be entering Eteria, which might sound a bit familiar to the Season 4 players because this is CZ's base, and in Season 4 he is actually also building Eteria. I think the story behind that is he joined later in Season 3. He's like one of the newest members, and he wasn't done with Eteria as a nation yet. They're very nice and detailed, but not too cluttered. It's just a good time overall. Again, though, I don't know too much about Eteria. Like, I couldn't tell you what all these buildings are. Which is... I mean, they're probably labeled somewhere, but like... Yeah. Oh, okay, it says at the bottom. I was like, I don't know what toerisdiensten radio Eteria... I mean... Radio Eteria. Okay, that makes sense. Never mind. I'm just stupid, okay? And now we get to Tobrun, which is also Nyetuber's place. I actually want to walk over here first for no particular reason, really. Like, there's not much here. You know, this is just a field. Nothing happened here. Nothing happened in this field. There's a UFO there, don't worry about it. Nothing happened in that field. Definitely nothing happened in this field. No massive explosion or anything, you know, just nothing happened in this field. We will talk about it when the time is right. I was a bit more involved in the whole Tobrun thing. I visited it a bit more, and I really like it. It's just like, it has village vibes, you know. It's just nice and cozy. And I think the best thing that Nyetuber does are interiors. They're always pretty and nice, and I like them. Was there a diamond block in here still? No. I think right before Season 3 ended, I paid there, even though I'm not supposed to pay. So I don't know. And you can clearly see that he tried to have like a uniform style for a lot of these houses to kind of really make it feel like a village. So they always have like a primary color, and then they'd have the second story being one block out, and that just makes for a very nice vibe. Like over there, it's as well. You can just see it. It just makes for a very uniform vibe of the village, and it makes it more believable that it is a village, which is quite nice. I think we need to take this road. And the reason why I'm using pathways is because our nether hub, for some reason on this world download that I got, it corrupted or something, or didn't load properly, something like that. So, now there wasn't too much in the nether hub that we missed. Some of the tunnels were quite nice, and I think my country had a pretty nice nether hub. But, you know, I can't be bothered to fix it. I've already been trying to fix this, trying to get this world download to work for like for my entire morning. Because it was just so big, the file size of it, that I physically could not open it. Like the zip was like, no, you cannot open it. So then I had to like find a way to redirect the game to a different folder where I could open it in, to put it on like a different hard drive. I finally got it to work. I'm not gonna be fuddling around with it more. Excuse me for that. What is this? Have I ever seen this? I'm not sure if I've ever seen this build. What? Since when was this here? Huh. Well, I guess you learned something new. Honestly, it's pretty fun seeing how the entire server is corrected by roads, because that was mainly a Lambda thing, and we are going to Lambda's base next. And now you can see in Season 4, he's trying to connect the entirety of the server again, but with minecarts instead of, you know, roads. Yes, the free state of Baldacchina welcomes you. We are now in Baldacchina, which is one of the 3 big superpowers on Season 3. Ironically, he is alone. He's the only one that worked alone, and we'll talk about that a bit in a second. And we're going in here first, because I actually have a little story to tell about this hut, because I actually helped create it. Back when Season 3 started, it was the plan of me and Lambda to work together for the early game. Basically team up, because we had never teamed up before. But then I got very busy at the start of Season 3, and I actually didn't really end up playing a lot with him. And then when I finally did have more time to play, I instead decided to team up with Camrock, meaning that I had to leave him. And that's also part of the reason why in Season 4 we started the conglomerate, because we were like, damn, we didn't really do much in Season 3, and now in Season 4, to be honest, I should do more with the conglomerate as well. Kind of the same issue happening, so I'll try my best to do that. But yes, I helped dig out this starter base. I did a lot of these villagers, not all of them I think, but a lot of them on this side I did, and cured and whatnot. You know, villagers kind of my early game thing. If there's one thing that we come to expect from Lambda, is that he is an insane madman with too much free time. So he decided to not only fill this entire island with many buildings, the island itself, he also made it. He has like a 20-minute time lapse on his YouTube channel or something where he terraformed this entire island. This is all him. Or mostly him, I don't know. It's just so big. One of the downsides of that is that a lot of these houses are empty, as you can see, which is a little bit sad, but obviously also to be expected from the scale of this project. But oh, it is so cool to just be walking around here. I haven't done it too much because it was finished pretty close to the end of Season 3, so it's good to walk around here now. And I think, yeah, we naturally go to the middle where he has a cordiality tree, I think that was called. It was like the tree would grow if he became a better person. It was like a big storyline for him. And over here are these little stalls with villagers in them who will sell and stuff. And then over here he has an entire fleet. He made these in the last week of the server, all of them I think. Again, this man is completely insane. He has lost his mind and he needs to go to the mental hospital ASAP. They are pretty cool. I'm not gonna go on them because, again, short tour. Yeah, Baldacchina, aside from that, and server relevance, honestly, not much has happened with it, I think. Like, he didn't really have many laws. He did write a pirate code book at some point, and like one of the things is that you shouldn't piss your pants, something like that. That's like the biggest lore that I can think of. Okay, now I'm kind of starting to regret using these pathways because, man, this takes a long time. But yes, we are going to this shopping mall. You know, just gonna take like 18 million years. Still going. I actually forgot how long this path is. This is pretty. I like this. I've never walked here. This is nice. How long is this road? Okay, this was definitely not the right way. Oh, finally, I knew this junction was coming up. I actually built this path, I think. Or at least part of it. Ah, I went the complete wrong way. But now we're on the right track again. Now actually over here. Oh, there's another little thing that I forgot existed until I got here. Oh no, it got completely blown up. I didn't know that. Oh, I was so wanting to see this intact. Well, we'll talk about that when we get to my country in a second. Finally, I've made it to the shopping mall. Can you guess who built this? If you guessed Lambda, you would be correct. Yes, this is another big, massive build. And to be honest, it's a bit of a waste in potential. But yes, this entire thing was basically supposed to be our shopping district for the season, but it ended up not really being used that much, which is for two reasons. First of all, it took a very long time for this thing to actually be here. And second of all, there wasn't that much in terms of like freedom with building your shops. You just had to fit it into a little room, which, you know, can work, but it was a bit limiting creatively. And also, again, it just came out a while after the server had started, so none of us were really like using this as a meeting spot as much. In Season 2, our shopping district was basically our go-to community area, and I kind of hope to bring that back in Season 4. In Season 4, I don't know, there still isn't that much, but there is definitely a lot more community stuff there, like Chambers of Peril, you have like some community resource gathering things, and it is a pretty common meeting spot. This wasn't, though. This really wasn't a common meeting spot at all. Which is a little bit sad, because Lambda did definitely put a lot of time in. I think I also helped him a little bit here and there, although I'm not really gonna take credit for all these things, because he was the main man for this. It was a fun idea to try out, but I think for future seasons, we're not going to use this approach anymore. And I mean, we already have it. In Season 4, it's back to just being a plot of land that you can put on anything that you like. And now we finally get to go to my little place. Because, as I said earlier, after I finally became a bit more active on the server again at the start of Season 3, I wanted to team up with Camrock. And, I mean, it's pretty obvious, I invited him to the server back in Season 2, but it was like towards the tail end of Season 2, and we didn't really have like a lot of time to do something cooperatively. So I thought, hey, for Season 3, I'm gonna be joining him, and we created the third faction, I guess, on Season 3, which was called Desmala. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you all. The basic premise behind Desmala was that it was just going to be the antagonist of Sereda. That was our basic goal with it, which, you know, led to a lot of conflicts in the season. We basically coined the term Sereda will fall and bomb Sereda, and then, you know, towards the end of the server we actually did a full-on war, and that's all the things that I've been hinting towards, like the big hole that we made and the bunker that got blown up. And even this thing was made, I think, by Isaac during the war. It was more of like a prank war where we would like build things for each other and fight. In the end, we had a very big fight. I made like a 2-hour video about it. Desmala was like a city that didn't really... It was basically the idea. It was a city. Didn't really have a theme. So it was basically an anything goes thing, which is both great and not great. Like on the one hand, it gave a lot of creative freedom and it was a lot of fun. On the other hand, some things don't really mesh together as well, especially a couple things that I built. Here's like Ministry of Intelligence, used this a lot during the war. My goal for Desmala is basically similar to what I'm trying to do in Scavenger City this season as well, is that I want to just make like a nice city with a lot of detail around, not a lot of blocks that are unfilled. Like there was like empty space here, so I made a hot dog stand. There was some empty space back here, so I made this little walkway with this graffiti area. There was some empty space here, so I made these like freshly cut grass lines, stuff like that, you know. I just tried to fill up as much space as possible in Desmala, make it feel as full as possible. I made this entire docking yard thing back here just to fill up space. I didn't fully succeed, sadly. There wasn't enough time. Like, I wanted to put something here. Oh, I made like the pub back here. Again, I would make this so differently now than I would have when I made this. I made this like, I think a year ago. I would texture these walls now. I would probably not use spruce for everything. I would use different wall decorations, maybe give it a bit more depth. But that's fun. It's fun to look back at what I built. And this is Melon Fest. I forgot about that one. Melon Fest was basically like an idea Camrock had where he would make stalls and make things. Oh, this is where we're... This is something interesting. The Billy and Millie store. We'll talk about that in a second, but that is related to our mission. We go to my favorite thing I did this season. Definitely one of the coolest things. And I actually did a bit of lore for Desmala, like I made a story behind it. And the way I told that story was through hiking trials. My family, usually when we go on holidays, we tend to do a lot of things. We tend to walk around a lot. We tend to visit a lot of places. And I kind of wanted to channel that energy into a Minecraft build. And I think in the summer, while SMPVideo was going on, Season 3 was going on, I went to the Glencoe Visitor Center in Scotland. And it was just, I don't know, I just was there and I was like, I need to build this in Minecraft because I love this place. It had like wooden walkways everywhere, and then I was like, oh, but I can combine it with hiking trials. So there are 5 hiking trials to different locations. Each of them have books, and all of these books have information, lore, but also telling you where you have to go. Now I quickly want to go to our storage system because this is basically most of what I wanted to show for the tour. I didn't go into too much detail for everything, but that was kind of the point, you know. I just wanted to give you a quick little look to everything. We didn't go to every area either. Obviously, we couldn't go to the Nether. But also, there was like an entire Olympics area that Lambda had also built somehow, and it was massive and big. I need just regular buckets, man. Why do we not have regular buckets? There we go, there we go. That's not buckets. There we go. Because I have been quickly talking about this little lake that I have built. Right here. But I haven't talked about what's inside the lake. Because yes, this lake actually houses some axolotl. Wait. Is that a baby? Wait. I was gonna say, this is a lake full of axolotls that I named Billy and Millie, and I, for some reason, really love them, but then I had to leave them behind, but I kind of want to get them back. But there's a baby one now? Do you guys have a baby? Well, I was gone for an hour? Jeez. Oh, we need to get these guys, basically. That was my main goal. Come here, Millie. Thank you. And now come here. What are we going to call you? It has to be something illy. I think Tilly would be good. Should we call you Tilly? I think Tilly is a nice name. I'm gonna get an anvil. Holy tilly. Okay, we got them. That's all I wanted. And yeah, that's basically the main gist of this short little tour. Now, I know, again, that I skipped over a bunch of things, but I have been thinking, would you guys be interested if I made like a compilation of all the interesting story / lore things that happened on the server? Like, from every single season, like I would do a bit of a compilation of like all the most important events in Season 3 that I put in videos, and all the most important events in Season 2, because Season 2 also has a bunch of events, and I mean Season 1 has like 0, so that video would probably be like 5 minutes, if I make one for just Season 1. I don't know, I've been thinking about this, because like usually when I like start watching something, like a new SMP or like a new series online, it's pretty difficult to find like the lore behind it easily. It's usually a bit of a pain to find out what is what and what means what and what specific events were and stuff like that. So I don't know if it would be a fun idea for SMPVideo to just make a compilation of at least everything that's been in my videos, right? But let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in that, interested in watching that. If you're not, I'll make one anyway and probably put it up on the second channel, but if there's enough like people that actually want to watch it, I'll put it on the main channel and make like a little mini series for it for every single season. I think it would be a lot of fun, and I think it would get a lot of new people more easily into SMPVideo, because right now the server has quite a lot of lore and stories from previous seasons, and a lot of the time we build upon them, or things that happen in newer seasons are a reaction to what happened in previous seasons. I gotta walk back all the way to the time machine now though, so I'll see you in like 12 years. We are back now at the time machine, and I think we're gonna say goodbye to this beautiful world for now and head back home, if I can get in. Goodbye Season 3, you were pretty cool. But what's also really cool is that we're now back. Place where we belong. We're back in Season 4, and this entire experiment was a big success, baby. It was such a good success. Oh my goodness. We have achieved time travel. And you know what that means. We really need to tell them about this. Can you imagine all the profitable things that we're gonna be able to do for the conglomerate with this? We can do like guided tours. Maybe we could set up like some sort of service that will like get items for people from different seasons, kind of like I did with the axolotls. So we're definitely gonna have to have a meeting with him soon, but that is going to be for the next episode, I'm afraid, because this episode has taken up quite a lot of time already. I'm trying to keep these episodes like around 20-30 minutes and not much longer or shorter. I think it's just a nice time for an episode to be, and I think we're really pushing it with this one. Maybe I'm not, I don't know. It felt like a long time though. See, next episode we're definitely going to be having a little bit of a talk with Lambda, and we're also going to be making a shop for these little guys. And there's a bunch of off-camera things I've done in between episodes as well. We're not gonna get to those today, so those are also for the next episode. I know it was a very different episode type than normal, so I really appreciate you watching all the way to the end. And let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this, and if you wanna, again, see those lore videos on this channel. Thank you so much for letting me know about that. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of SMPVideo, baby.
They have escaped. They went into the future. Our God has shown us where it is.